thank you. The countdown is on. 4 weeks from today, Americans will choose a new president.
Campaigns crisscrossing the country, trying to win every last vote. Oakland University political science professor Dave Giulio is back with us this morning. Here we are, a month out.
Phew. Can it be over fast, quick enough? I don't know.
But what happens when it's over? That's one of the big questions,
sure
right?
is,
We'll get to that in just a bit. But let's talk about how you feel so far about this election season. Have we seen the amount of rhetoric that you expected between these two?
I think it's been quite predictable. Absolutely. You're sort of as expected, sniping back and forth. Really it's been a battle of television ads, battle of scripted, controlled events that both candidates, as you know, are crisscrossing not only the country but our state. The candidates, their running mates, their surrogates, here all the time, trying to engage their base, make sure that they're excited for voting time.
It feels like there was a light switch flicked about a week ago because you have Vice President Harris now doing the Call Her Daddy podcast, on 60 Minutes, doing Howard Stern today. A lot of press, The View, a lot more press than she's done. Why?
A lot more press, but 60 Minutes is not the same thing as the podcast or The View,
sure,
right? I mean, some
definitely
of these,
not the same as the podcast.
for sure. Some of these aren't as, let's say, traditionally journalistic as others, right? 60 Minutes, unquestionably, right? And she faced some really tough questioning there. I don't think she's going to see the same thing from Howard Stern. Right? Why? Because they know, I think her campaign knows, that they're suffering because they have taken this strategy earlier of keeping her behind the scenes, maybe not for sure, not doing as much media. And in fact, I think we saw the results of that when Tim Walz was in the vice presidential debate, and really didn't have the seasoning, if you will, of going back and forth with the moderators or even his opponent, right?
Absolutely. I want to get to our state, Michigan, of course. We've heard that someone from the Trump camp will be in town every week until the election. We know that we're known as a battleground state, but why so much right now?
Well, this is the sprint to the finish, right? People already have ballots in their hands. Absentee ballots have gone out. People have cast their vote. So it is, every day now, every hour is a chance for the campaigns to seal the deal with a voter, right? And the Trump campaign, the Harris campaign is going to do the same thing. They're here to make sure that their supporters remain excited about casting a ballot, however they're going to do it, absentee, early, or on election day. Make sure that they get that ballot in for their candidate.
When you take all the battleground states and put them together in real clear politics, Trump is at 48.4. She is at 48.3. Vice President Harris. In Michigan, Vice President Harris is up 0.7. That is how close it is between these two in battleground states and here in Michigan.
It's really stunning to see the tightness of this race, not just in a single state, but in all 7 of the states where it's really going to matter, right? It's going to come down to Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And it is just razor thin, and it's going to be that way until the end of the day.
We've got to wrap up, but it is going to be razor thin. So how does that affect the outcome after the effect? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen?
One word: litigation.
Yeah.
And recount. you know
2 words.
Right? Keep it very short, but I think that works well.
Yeah.
Dave Giulio, so good to see you. Thank you.
A great professor. We'll be back.